Morning, folks. Dr. Freedom here with you. Time some Doctor News from in and around the universe that may or may not affect you on some deep personal level that can make you go, ooh, that feels tingly. But I know it's been too long, and I've got to get back on the ball because apparently, now the latest word going around this past to me by Minnesota GALLIFREY is apparently that filming is likely, according to several members on the Doctor Who class set, the spinoff, as well as Adam Morford and what he's hearing, that Doctor Who will start filming on June 13th. Now, why they've backed it up again, I don't know, but that date does seem to fit because that would mean everybody's back from America doing their various convention appearances and whatnot. And I think also Pearl Mackie might be available then. But the word is, yeah, she might, let me stress that word, might be making a small appearance in the Christmas special. But probably don't expect any more than a scene or so, like in just kind of like saying, oh, look, this is coming next, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but let's move on because we got a lot of stuff to talk about because I've been letting this back up way too long. Hang on, can I do that again? Way too long. Oh, wow. Oh, my God, I got rhythm today. Woohoo. All right, moving on. Okay, first up. Follow the bouncing Barrowman. That's right. Barrowman has been all over the place snapping photos with people at Big Finish. And matter of fact, if you look around online, there's a bit with him with Camille Coterie. I think, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing it. She played Jackie Tyler, Rose Tyler's mom, Camille Coterie. Well, the thing is, he's also appeared with Dorian Gray, and he was hanging out Katie Manning, all these beautiful folks right here, whatnot. But then this happened. Now, people are like, oh, that's just a picture of Sarah Douglas. Now, when this picture originally went up, and somebody had slipped, because after Sarah's quote, it said they've been recording a new audio for Big Finish Productions, and it said, called The Lives of Jack Harkness. But Minnesota GALLIFREY caught it first, and of course I caught it when he showed it to me, that if you went back and saw this again, it just says now they've been recording a new audio for Big Finish Productions. So is The Lives of Jack Harkness another big thing coming for Big Finish? It would be kind of interesting to see what he was doing beyond Torchwood because, as we know, he's had a little bit of, family action going on, on the side. So, not to mention there's a lot of lives, loves, and all that, involved with him. I wonder if they're kind of like doing his version of a take on the Dorian Gray thing. We'll find out more details as available. Of course, Sarah Douglas, always amazing. All right. I was supposed to skip past this, you see. Duh. Look, there's a Dr. Freedom channel, ain't it, party? You should be listening to Skydark, by the way. It's doing pretty good. A lot of people are liking it. All right, get off that. Watch the moment when a bridegroom receives a surprise message from his favorite doctor. Of course, yes, it is Tom Baker. And I was sitting here thinking as I watched this, I'm like, do you really want Tom Baker to give you marriage advice? But all right, It was an incredibly fun message. If you want to watch it, it's right here. It's only about 2 minutes long, but come on, it's Tom. He's always fun. Moving on, 7 new pics of Jenna Coleman from Emilia Clarke's Me Before You. And this is just mainly, oh, look, you want to see what Jenna's up to, other than Victoria after Doctor Who. Boom, here it is. Jenna always looking fantastic. Moving on. Steve Moffat's final Doctor Who season will be filming for 10 months. 10 months. Okay, when the shoot finally begins. Now, a new post from the BBC Careers website of Atlas. Get ready. Advertises the position of floor runner for Doctor Who at BBC Comrie Wales on a 10-month fixed-term contract / attachment. Season 10, of course, we'll see Pearl Mackie join on. And this is his final 14 episodes. We know all that. So, once again, follow the bouncing Barrowman. John Barrowman cosplays as himself at the Doctor Who Experience. I got a kick out of that. So, if you want to go check this out, a little fun there with the more Barrowman. Third Doctor comic announced. BBC Worldwide and Titan Comics have announced the return of the Third Doctor along with sidekick Joe Grant in a comic coming this August. The brand new 5-part... sorry, you see, I love this. I quit smoking about 2 weeks ago. And now I can't keep phlegm out of my system. What the hell? Talk about your ass backwards, metabolism. Okay. Written by fan favorite Doctor Who scribe Paul Cornell. It stars the Third Doctor, played by Jon Pertwee, alongside Joe Grant, of course, by Katie Manning. Brigadier is going to be in there, Nicholas Courtney. I wish he was still with us. Hitting stores and digital platforms on August 31st, Doctor the Third Doctor expands Titans Comics' hugely popular and critically acclaimed Doctor Comics, which already include ventures from the 4th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th Doctors, and fresh off last year's epic smash hit, the 4 Doctors, Paul Cordell teams up with Christopher Jones to bring unexpected twists and turns to the lives of the Third Doctor and his companions in an all-new story, The Herald of Destruction. Now, actor Jon Pertwee, of course, starred as the Third Doctor in 128 episodes from 1970 to 1974. Actually, he started in the latter part of 69, but we won't hold that against him. Pertwee's portrayal of the Doctor was a suave, dapper, and technologically oriented man of action who spent his time stranded on Earth working with the International Military Group Unit. The debut issue, of course, comes with 5 variant covers to collect, 3 art covers by artists Josh Burns, Simon Myers, Paul McCaffrey, and a photo cover and a blank sketch cover. Bam, 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 bam. If you want to check a look at the preview, just click on these right here, and they'll come right up and take a look at it for you. Moving on. 3 new comics out this week. That's right. This week sees Titan release 3 new comics featuring the 9th, 10th, and 12th Doctors. This will be 9th Doctor number 2. Oh, look at all those beautiful little preview pickies. Go get them, babies. 10th Doctor number 2, volume 10. I always get them mixed up. I love this. I quit smoking and I got more phlegm in my system than I ever had before. Go figure. 12th Doctor number 2.6, also out. All wham, bam, 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 this Wednesday, 25th of the May. Moving onward. If you want a job on Doctor Who, here's more info about it. Blah, blah, blah. You can be made via the BBC Careers website. Bam. All right. Alec Wheal has passed away. He was a senior camera operator, and he has passed at the age of 80. He worked on at least 159 episodes of Doctor Who, mainly as senior cameraman, or as it was later known, camera supervisor. So, sad to hear that another, crew member, has left us. 2016 has been a hell of a year for the Grim Reaper. I'm not kidding. It's just been crazy. So he also worked on other programs, EastEnders, Last of the Summer Wine, Just Good Friends, The Tripods, Blackadder, Grange Hill, and Fanny by Gaslight. Okay, don't worry. We're almost there. We're getting there, folks. New commentaries for Hartnell Orphan episodes and the Daemons. Phantom Publishing have announced 2 new releases of Who Talk, a series of new independent commentaries for Doctor Who episodes. They're also available to pre-order individually at a special combined offer, blah, blah, blah. You can find all this right here at the Who Talk website. Remember, these commentaries contain no BBC copyrighted elements and do not feature audio from the episodes themselves. They are designed to be played alongside the official DVD releases. So basically, stick a finger at the BBC. Ha, 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 ha. Oh, sorry. Okay, still confused by the Bootstrap Paradox and Doctor Who? Well, Toby Whithouse explains it. I'll leave this to Toby. And I said, it's just, a lot of people were kind of freaked out about that, about the whole before the flood, blah, blah thing. And I did love that little opening bits with Capaldi and whatnot. I've got to go back and rewatch that one. And lastly for today, on Friday, it was officially 20 years since Jon Pertwee passed away. So this is Jon Pertwee 20 years on. Also, his son Sean left some moving stuff for him from her. I can't remember if it was Instagram or Twitter. And like I said, it's kind of sad that he's no longer with us, but in a way, he's always going to be. His doctor is one of the standout doctors of his era. He made that role his own, and he's always going to, be the doctor, and he's always going to be a part of this show, even now 20 years on past his death. Okay. I was editing the Omega Files Civil War cast. I don't even know if I'm going to release it, to be honest with you, because I'm ashamed of a lot of the things I said on it. I lost my professional objectivity. I blew my stack. I said a lot of things that, would become misconstrued, and I think in a lot of ways. Plus, we had people dropping in and out for various reasons. Now, if you have technical difficulties, I'm not going to, think. Or if you have an emergency, which one person did, I'm not going to think. But Then we had people popping in and out at random times, and that's going to stop. From now on, once the record light goes on, the room is locked. I'm going to lock the room, then I'm going to hit the record button. Because there should be no reason for anybody, especially after we've been running this cast for how long at the same time, to suddenly show up and go, okay, I want to be in it. And I'm like, that right there is like, especially, you know, I'm not being mean, I'm not being cruel, but it's just when the podcast is less than 2 minutes from over and I have somebody pop into it, it's like, okay, now I got to debate, you know, what am I going to do here? Because the cast is pretty much over at this point, and I'm not going to, you know, keep going on and on and on and on just to keep it running. But mainly, the reason, it's not any of their fault, really. That's just minor stuff. It's just my own behavior really perturbed me. I let my anger and some frustration come through on the way they handled the character of Steve Rogers, and I'm just ashamed of it, to be honest with you. I really am. And I have no idea if I'm even going to release it. I'm going to have to edit the crap out of it before I even think about putting it up. So it could be a week. It could be a month. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to release 161. I'm just that damn ashamed of my own behavior. Okay, well, until then, everybody. Until next time, take care, ta-ta. I'll try to make these, you know, more and more occurring. It's just I was doing a lot of work on SkyDark, and, you know, that's been really taking on a life of its own. There's parts of it I pre-written, and a lot of it I haven't. And I know where the story is going to take me, and it's just I keep finding these different paths I want to get there. And there's a really big, interesting surprises coming up very, very shortly. I guarantee you one of them is going to make you turn around and go, what the? I'm not kidding. So if you're not listening to SkyDark, please do. There's people out there who are enjoying it, and that's why I'm going to keep doing it. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. I hope I didn't bum you out too much, but I try to keep a professional sort of conduct, and I completely threw it out the window on this past cast, and I'm just damned ashamed. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with 161. And like I said, SkyDark will continue until it finishes. And I'd have to say there's probably, given it took this long to get to this point in the story, it's going to try to take about another hour to finish this bugger. I had no idea it was going to turn out to be a movie, but I'm doing the best I can. Okay, everybody, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm getting out of here this time, I promise. Have a good one.